list. So we're obviously doing some Apex Legends today. This tier list is basically from all the years and all the seasons of how consistent and most useful each legend is overall. Now obviously any of these legends can be S tier or D tier depending upon how good the person is or yourself are with them, the map where you are on the map, the weapons that you have, the team that you have. A lot of it goes into effect. But overall consistency and usefulness and whatnot is what I'm going to try to base this all off of. But let's start. I don't know. Let's start with the newest one. Let's start with Maggie. I think Maggie honestly is probably A tier. I think the fact that she basically is a nice little bit of a bum rusher, up close personal, you know, gets great with shotguns, which everybody's running that PK or the Mastiff for sure. I mean, you know, the fact that she buffs him, why not, right? And I think her ability as far as being able to shoot through a door, and I believe still Gibby's shield, is disgusting, because anytime obviously people are hurt, injured, or just running away, they're going to do that and even heal behind it, so you can't kick it in, but that's going to give them some problems. So yeah, I think her overall kit is great, and I think she's solid pretty much in every fight, to be honest, because most people are going to run shotguns, so that's just a nice little natural buff for them. Crypto is C. I would put him in D, to be honest, but the only reason why he's in C is solely because of the EMP grenade, or not grenade, but the EMP that his drone does do. Obviously, Crypto's had problems since he came out. I think he's probably one of the worst legends in the game because he has to stand there with the drone. The drone's 300 meters away, and then he's got to catch up, or vice versa, or whatever. I think his kit just overall doesn't work for a game like Apex. I think his drone can definitely cause some big harm, especially if you're third partying. But other than that, not useful. Definitely better legends, and definitely if you're just trying to be the recon unit, there's better recon, you know, like just go play Bloodhound or something instead of that if you just want to spot people, right? Or even Valk. So since we're talking about both of them, Bloodhound, I'll do A as well. The biggest reason why I can't put him in S is because he just has no sort of help in his kit. He can't help himself and he can't help his team. Now obviously the scan can help your team per se, but he's just a solo legend, and that's all it is. You know, he's just like Wraith. Like Wraith, can you help your team with the teleporter? Sure. Can you help your team letting people know that someone sees you from 400 meters away? Sure, yeah. But they're solo units. They're solo legends to play essentially by themselves, so you know where people are at as much as possible. Do I think Bloodhound is more useful to a full team than Wraith? Absolutely. And I, for sure, A tier unit. Again, the biggest reason I can't put him in S is just because I think he's just for himself, and Apex is still relatively a team game. Can people carry? Absolutely. But, you know, his overall kit is solely designed for him to always be able to find people and somewhat help your team do it as well. So That's why I can't put him in S. But for sure A tier, absolutely. Fuse. I think Fuse is just in B. His overall kit is not really that insane. I mean, being able to have more throwables in your kit is great. Being able to shoot them more accurately, alright, sure. And the ult, as far as a little ring of fire, again, okay, great. But overall usefulness, not really there. He's more just like certain situations he's probably one of the best, if not the best, but overall consistency just not really there again. I don't think it's a great kit for consistency. I think it's a great kit for potential. And that's all that is. So since we were talking about Wraith, I think Wraith is a better Ashe. Oh. Alright, I think Wraith deserves an A. And the biggest reason why is because at least she has the potential to make big plays. Again, solo player for sure. But I can't put her in S because even for herself, she's not that useful, as far as I think it takes way too long to use her shadow running ability, or whatever you'd like to call that. Her ultimate, as far as the teleporters, is there, but again, the overall utility that she brings for the team is not there much at all, minus again the teleporters that or Wraith portal, sorry. But overall just not there, but the potential is definitely there. As the game goes on, she does, I would say, get more and more valuable, or at least stay at high value, but definitely not S tier for sure. And I think Ashe is just a worse Wraith, to be honest. Like, her ability is an arc star, essentially, like great, and then her ult is essentially a Wraith portal that only she can use, so not there to me. Honestly, yeah, I'm dropping you down to C. It's kind of trash, to be honest. I think she can make some big plays and cause some big problems, but overall consistency not there at all. Watson, I think Watson is B only because of her ult. I think the fences are pretty shit. I think they can stop people sometimes, but overall they're easy to destroy. Or if you're not a bitch, honestly, just run through them and you'll probably be alright, as long as they're not just sitting there camping it. But her ult definitely carries her. I think having the ability to not get rained down by anything, as far as grenades or arc stars or anything like that, is huge. But even more so, the fact that it's shielding you, and possibly your whole team. Tiny small downfall of that is if they push you, you can also shield the enemy, but the fact that you can do that and just gain shield by standing near it is pretty huge. But that literally carries her into B. She probably deserves to be in C, but I think her ult is useful. The little dumb passive where she gets ult accelerant to get her ult is okay, but there's millions of better passives if you're just trying to do that. Let's see. Revenant. I think Revenant is B. Everybody's always hyping this dude up, but honestly, he's pretty shit. I think his ability to cause people to not be able to use their ability is A tier, if not S, for sure. But his ultimate, as far as popping a rev all, is not that great. All you're doing is just making sure you get teleported back if you're getting shit on, which is fine. Like, yeah, you're not gonna die like that, but that's all it is. Like, you can go in there and essentially do the same thing and just try to run away, or just kill them and not get shit on and get teleported back. So there's that. And your passive being that you can climb shit faster or whatever, unlimitedly now at some point, but no, it's not there. He's not there. Valk, I guess, is B, mostly just because of the help that she can give the team as far as spotting people, and essentially she's just a balloon tower at any point in the game, which can be useful. But during fights using your jetpack, you're just going to get shit on. And her ability as far as the rockets are alright, but I think they could be a little bit better or faster or something. Um, but she's a solid legend, but not the best. There's still obviously better choices. Again, especially if you're trying to recon, then there's better. Seer, I don't remember Seer's abilities and shit too much. But I don't think this man's super useful either. I don't even remember what his ability is. I know that his ability, or alt, forget which one, is like the area of whatever. I don't know. Trash. That's what it is. Why I'm forgetting her name, I cannot remember. Rampart is C. Sorry. Yeah, I think she has the potential, if she can get set up, to be a higher tier unit, or if they would just make her better. But the fact that if you're being seen putting down your walls, it's going to get destroyed in like a few bullets. And being on the LMG can honestly ruin your day, because that's just free stationary damage if you're paying enough attention. But again, I think if she can't get set up, then she is a scary legend to face, no matter what team is around her, even behind her, as far as like if there's a Watson also, or a Gibby or anything like that, more defensive units. But and the LMG passive is alright. But again, she overall kit, the downside is way too much larger than the upside of the possible you actually being able to get set up somewhere, and it not being just destroyed within seconds anyway. Mirage, I think Mirage is B, and the biggest reason is mostly just because in a fight, if you really need to, you can get out of it by just going invisible. Kind of. They've switched his ult and shit so many times. But I don't think the bamboozle, every once in a while, is kind of okay to get a little bit of bait, but I mean, it's not that amazing. And again, I think the ult is the only thing that brings him up to B, mostly just because it's possibility of getting out of a fight or having another chance, especially. But the dumbest one is his passive of being knocked and turned invisible. Like, it's, unless you're at a relative distance, or you get knocked like during a big fight to where they can't really thirst you or anything, then maybe a little useful, but trash passive. I honestly think Loba deserves an A. I think her overall potential is super high. Being able to see high tier loot through everything, I think, is huge. I think obviously being able to loot anything within the area with her ult is big for the whole team, especially. And she has some, maneuvers to get in and out. So I think she's a pretty solid overall legend. I don't think that she is crazy in any of those potentials. I don't think she exceeds anything as far as the mobility with her ability, and then obviously her ult is helpful, but you could just loot the shit around you in general. But obviously that's much easier, safer, and faster way to do it, and to see what's even around you. So overall potential for her is big. There's not really a downside to playing her, to be honest, but I don't think she has anything that gives her like an extra umph to like S tier or something. I think she's just like a solid overall team helping and survivability champ for sure. Solid legend. That's it. Oh, who's next? Bang Your Mama. I think Bangalore is just B. I think the biggest problem with her is that the only reason why she's in B is just her smokes. Her ult and Gibby's ult is just way too inconsistent and not really gonna hit anybody necessarily. Now it can force some stuff to happen, but not the best. I would say her ult is worse than Gibby's as well, and that's saying something. Her passive to move a little bit faster honestly doesn't make that much of a difference. It's never like super saved you. I doubt it. But her smokes are probably one of the best abilities in the game, I would say. At least as far as the potential during any situation is there for sure. But I can't put her at A or S tier just because her ability, one of them. So, and sometimes her smokes can fuck your team up too. So, a little bit of downside to that as well. We'll go with the Gibby. I think Gibby mains are bitches. So just for that, you get to go B. Just because you're a bitch if you run Gibby. The fact that this dude has a gun shield and then another shield plus takes whatever percent less damage because he's a fatty fuck is all stupid. I think his ult is, again, pretty shit. But, that's all I'm going to say about Gibby. He doesn't deserve any more time. Caustic, I have to give Caustic A, and the biggest reason, I know everybody bitches about him and whatever, but this dude can hold down an area, period. If it's, last couple zones, and it's in a house or whatever, like, you're safe in that motherfucking bitch, okay? His traps are nasty, his ult is a free throwable that does nice damage, blinds them, and you can see them anytime anybody's getting ticked in your ult or your traps. Passive is obviously just that, so not that great. But as far as a true defender or being able to hold a house or a small area, I think Caustic is probably the best to do it, for sure. I enjoy playing him. I enjoy Caustics on my team because I know that when in doubt, he can at least protect himself, if not stop a team from pushing you, at least pushing you that hard. So I enjoy him. That's just me. Pathfinder, I think I just have to put old boy Pathfinder in B. I think the potential that he has as far as mobility and movement for himself and the team is there. I think that's the biggest reason. He's probably the best utility movement champion, either him or Valkyrie, but obviously he can do it a little bit nicer than her, in my opinion. Plus, who doesn't like Pathfinder more than Valk, right? But I think his overall kit is, I don't know. He's just kind of weird. He's kind of team oriented, but kind of solo a little bit. So he just kind of like, I don't know. Solid B tier. That's really it. Fun to play, fun to have on your team, always useful, but you know, you can choose better, you could choose worse type of thing. Horizon is honestly just annoying, but I'll probably have to give her A tier. Just the fact that her ults can cause like huge problems and get you essentially free damage output or something. Plus her movement as far as the little air tornado shit is useful, but she's just annoying. I don't like her ass. Lifeline I have to give A. The biggest reason why I'd probably say Lifeline isn't an S anymore is because they've changed her so many times. Like original Lifeline, you could throw down a shield and that's resin while you can shoot behind the shield and blah blah blah, and they took that away and made it only, you know, revive, no shield, and then you know, obviously her healing is great. Care package are hit and miss whether you're going to get something. I know that they've changed that a million times too, because it used to be god awful and then they had to make it better. But she's still probably one of my favorites for sure, just for the potential healing that you can just do for yourself or your team without having to carry syringes or medkits or either one or both or one or the other. So I think that's a huge benefit for you and your team for sure. Plus the possibility of the care package and the easy revives is nasty. Plus the honestly her biggest benefit is faster healing. Like that has been so nice, the fact that she does faster healing for shields and for meds, and that's even without, if you get the I think at some point it was like a gold something that made like healing even faster or something like that. I don't even remember, but she could like insta heal some shit. I'm talking like as soon as you touched a medkit, it was like 2 seconds, and basically insta syringes and shield cells and like a few seconds on a battery or something. But the potential for Lifeline was huge. At this point, I don't even know where she's at in the meta as far as usefulness, but still deserves an A tier for her whole life for me. And then Octane, we're gonna do it to you. The only S tier, just because he's a fucking beast. Alright? For solo players, he's there. I don't know why more solo players don't use the guy. He can get into a fight super fast. He can get out of a fight if he needs to. He auto heals himself, so you never have to pick up syringes or meds if you don't necessarily need to, minus, you know, maybe a couple. So basically just use shield cells for the guy and he's nasty. You know, jump pads can still obviously help the team as well, so that's there. But overall solo use, the best in the game. Team, a little bit of potential, nothing crazy, but you know, whatever. But don't have to worry about healing so much, especially if you don't have any. But yeah, let me know what everybody thinks. That's I would say about from everything I've experienced in Apex to this point. And fuck you Gibby mains.